I promised. So in this episode, I'm going to tell you the names of the 2 greatest super performers of this year. They're going to outperform everything in all of the stock markets and crypto. They're going to give you more profit than anything else, any other stock or any other cryptocurrency. And I'm going to tell you what they are and why in this episode. By conservative estimate, one's going to go up about 500 times and the other one's going to go up 3,000 to 6,000 times. That's 50,000% to 600,000%. If you're not sure, they look like this. When I tell you why and show you who's behind these assets, these equities, one is a stock, like I said, and one is a crypto, you're going to think, holy shit, this is such a no-brainer. This is like buying Bitcoin at $10. This is like buying Tesla at $4. This is like buying Apple 20 years ago or Microsoft 20 years ago. It's going to be that clear to you. I don't have to remind you that the early investors of Amazon, Apple, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tesla, they all got over 100,000% profit. Do I? But since you might not be familiar with the people that founded this crypto and this stock, let's start with people that you do know, with companies that you do know, companies that have already made 1,000 times profit for their early investors. And I'm going to show you how they're all interconnected and how this big money, these huge companies that you already know and that you're already using right now, are actually behind these brand new tiny startups. When whales of this caliber start a new company, when the corporations that they built that are already leading the industries in their sector back a brand new startup, if you're an early investor, you're going to create generational, life-changing wealth. You hate trust fund babies? Well, I hope you don't end up hating your own baby, because your own baby is going to end up being a trust fund baby. Let's start with this incriminating photograph. You recognize anybody? Anybody at all? These guys are the guys that started PayPal. And this is who they are. And these are the companies that they built after they made PayPal successful. Look at these guys. Look at this guy. Steve Chen started YouTube. So did Jawed Karim. Who's this? Elon Musk started. Elon Musk actually built PayPal? Yes, Elon Musk built PayPal. With Steve Chen. Wow, so weird. And Reid Hoffman, yep, he built LinkedIn. You've heard of LinkedIn. You've heard of Square. Keith Rabois, David Sachs, Max Levchin, Russell Simmons, Dave McClure. You know Dave McClure of 500 Startups. And who's this? Peter Thiel. Peter Thiel, from 0 to 1. This guy is this guy, number 8. Peter Thiel. These guys are literally the godfathers of tech. If they build a startup, anything new, and you're an early investor, you're going to get 1,000 times your money. You want an example of a 500x? You want an example of a 50,000% profit coin? It's right there. One of them is this guy, Steve Chen. I told all my followers and all my subscribers, please buy anything that Steve Chen backs. And guess what he backed? He backed a new crypto called Theta. Theta, it's a distributed blockchain-based YouTube. It's just like YouTube except on the blockchain. It's a no-brainer for a guy like him with all his experience and all his influence to be able to make massive profits for early investors for Theta. And we told all of our subscribers to buy Theta. Theta. Here. Oh, there it is. At 7 cents back in September 2019. You know how many months it took to do this? Went from 7 cents to $15. 7 cents to 15, here it is, dollars. You know what that means? That's a 200 times return on your money. Literally, $1,000 would have become $200,000. $5,000 would have made you a millionaire. $5,000 would have made you a millionaire just from this one trade. We told everybody to start taking profits here and keep selling bits and pieces as we went up to get a clean 200x return, 20,000% return on your money in 2019. But that's not 500x. That's only 200x. Here's a 500xer for you. Ta-da, Elon Musk and Doge. Whenever any of these guys backs a new cryptocurrency, a new company on NASDAQ, it just goes stellar. You cannot underestimate the power of this syndicate, of this mob. How about we sketch this out? So a guy named Peter Thiel, Elon Musk, and Steve Chen. Peter Thiel, remember, is this guy. He's going to be central to our conversation. They all made PayPal. They all came together and made the company right in the middle. But Peter Thiel also invested, he's one of the early investors in Facebook. And it did bonkers. He started then Founders Fund and the Thiel Fellowship. Now the Thiel Fellowship invested in someone else you might have heard of. What? Yep, no kidding. The Thiel Fellowship actually backed Vitalik Buterin as he was building Ethereum. Now it's getting thicker, isn't it? The plot. So the guys up top who worked with Peter Thiel, Steve Chen and Elon Musk, they both introduced two new cryptocurrencies. Well, Dogecoin wasn't new, but by the time they touched it, by the time Elon Musk touched Doge, it did 500x, 50,000% return on your investment. Steve Chen, a measly 20,000%, 200 times return on your investment if you invested early when Steve Chen first released Theta. What's Peter Thiel doing? What is Peter Thiel doing? Well, he started something called Founders Fund and the Thiel Fellowship, which invests in genius developers, programmers, technologists, genius youth. He invested in, no, are you kidding me? You can't be serious, yep. He invested in Vitalik Buterin before he made Ethereum. Vitalik Buterin, the inventor of Ethereum, was a Peter Thiel Fellowship benefactor. I think he made like $200,000 or something. Peter Thiel gave Vitalik Buterin $200,000. Now are you starting to see the connection between all these PayPal guys and cryptocurrency? Are you starting to see the difference? Are you starting to see the connections, the hidden networks, the hidden spider web between these PayPal guys and crypto? Well, who's this? There's a new guy called Fred Ersham. Fred Ersham, if you know anything about Coinbase, the biggest cryptocurrency exchange in the world, he started Coinbase. And then he started something else called Paradigm. And guess what later happened? Something called 3Lao. Paradigm invested in something called 3Lao. And guess who else did? Founders Fund. You want to see it? I'll show it to you. Oh, shit. Here. The page changed. Here it is. No, this one. Here it is. 3Lao launches a blockchain music investment company backed by Paradigm and Peter Thiel's Founders Fund. So, Fred Ersham ends up partnering with Peter Thiel on something brand new called 3Lao. So now it's proven that they know each other. They've done business together. Well, guess what else Fred Ersham invested in? So while Elon Musk invested in Doge and it went up 500 times, and Steve Chen invested in Theta, it went up 200 times, Peter Thiel actually invested in the early stages of Ethereum itself. But you know who else invested in Ethereum? This guy you may not have heard of. You may not know the name Fred Ersham, but you certainly know his company. He started Coinbase, the company that became worth more than the New York Stock Exchange itself. His venture capital firm, called Paradigm, that you remember seeing here, remember Paradigm here? Guess what else it invested in? Now we're getting to the meat of this video. why you came here in the first place. Something brand new called Truebit. What is Truebit? Truebit is one of the inventions of the 5 people that invented Ethereum itself. Let me detail this out for you. Vitalik Buterin started Ethereum and needed help to make it happen. So he brought in Gavin Wood, he brought in Charles Hoskinson, he brought in Jason Tuch and Christian Riedweisner. This is the core 5 people that made Ethereum. Charles Hoskinson, then after Ethereum successfully launched and became a multi-billion-dollar market cap asset, started Cardano, ADA, and it went up 500 times. Ethereum's co-founder, Gavin Wood, started Dot or Polkadot and Kusama, and it went up 500 times to 1,000 times from if you could get the ICO version of these coins super early. And now you only have 2 more co-founders of Ethereum left, Jason Tuch and Christian Riedweisner, and they started a brand new coin that nobody knows of called Truebit. And it didn't go up 500 times or 1,000 times or 3,000 times yet. Big picture time. Whenever these guys, Steve Chen, Elon Musk, Peter Thiel, anybody who is a part of the original PayPal mafia, this syndicate, this brotherhood, whenever they build a crypto, whenever they make a new coin, it delivers generational wealth, life-changing money for their early investors. Elon Musk, when he invested in Doge, it went up 500 times. $1,000 became $500,000. $2,000 became $1 million. Steve Chen, when he invested in Theta, went up 200 times. Peter Thiel, when he invested in, Vitalik Buterin went on to make Ethereum, which went up 30,000 times. What is that, 3 million%? Okay, but you're still only talking about coins that have already gone up 500 times or 1,000 times for their early investors. You still haven't told me what coins or what stock or what is at rock bottom right now. You want to know what new coin these guys just started? Here it is. Fred Ersham invested in something new called Truebit. Fred Ersham, who has a history of investing with Peter Thiel, invested in something brand new called Truebit. And it's sitting at 14 cents right now. 14 pennies. It's at 14 cents right now. I'm expecting it to go up at least to $140 each, which is going to get you 1,000x. But my actual real target is 3,000x for a target price of $420 per Truebit. Now, you might think that's ridiculous. Even after I've shown you that Peter Thiel is involved, Fred Ersham, the founder of Coinbase itself, invested in Truebit already, that Dogecoin went up 500x, that Theta went up 200x, that these guys are actually involved in crypto. So let me show you some more. You want to see what happened to the people that actually built Ethereum? The same people that built Truebit built Ethereum, and you want to know what happened to the people that built Ethereum? Where are they now? Half of them went on to build other cryptocurrencies. These are all the people that built Ethereum. Vitalik Buterin, you know of. Gavin Wood, he was the one that built Solidity. Christian Riedweisner and Jason Tuch also helped build Ethereum with Charles Hoskinson. Do some of these names look familiar? Charles Hoskinson is the one that built Cardano. It did 200, 300, 400 times for its early investors. 40,000% ROI for their early investors. Gavin Wood built Dot and Kusama. He also did 200x for his early investors. Of these 5 guys that went on to build other coins, Charles Hoskinson, Gavin Wood, none of them delivered less than 100x ROI for their early investors. So now we only have 2 guys left of the original 5 team that built Ethereum. Jason Twitch and Christian Rietweisner. They just built Truebit, and Truebit coin is available right now. Truebit is only available in MetaMask and Uniswap. But it is so coveted, it is so valuable that there is a concerted scam cover-up happening right now so that you can't find and buy the real Truebit. Go to Binance, go to Coinbase, both. This cover-up, this scam is literally being propagated across two of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world right now. Go to Coinbase and go to Binance, do a search for Truebit. And lo and behold, it'll tell you. It has the green triangle logo, and it'll tell you the current price of the real Truebit. But in Coinbase and in Binance, there's a little button at the bottom. You can do this yourself right now as you're watching this video. Do it from your smartphone. Click the little button at the bottom that says Buy Truebit. You know what ends up happening? You click it, it takes you to the next page, and suddenly that green triangle logo changes to a blue logo, and instead of Truebit, it says, do you really want to check out with TrueFi? Huh? I checked the price of Truebit. I said, yes, I want to buy Truebit at this price. I clicked buy, and all of a sudden it's saying, are you sure you want to check out TrueFi? TrueFi. At first, I thought it was a technical error. All of us, myself, my team, our followers, all contacted Binance. We all contacted tech support and customer support for Coinbase. Everybody is zipped about this issue. And it's still rampant right now. The active cover-up? Well, the cover-up is currently active. Here's the really nefarious part. The way TrueFi was designed, it's designed to absolutely confuse all Asians, especially the Chinese, from being able to buy the real Truebit. Because the way Chinese people pronounce Truebit, they shorten the bit. In other words, they pronounce Truebit Truby. That's how they don't say Truebit, they don't pronounce the it part of the Truebit. So they pronounce Truebit Truby. But if you're familiar with any Chinese or any Asian languages, Japanese people, Korean people, Chinese people don't use the sound F. And guess what? TrueFi has an F in it. So you know how a Chinese person would pronounce TrueFi? They would pronounce TrueFi Truby. You know how a Chinese person would pronounce Truebit? They would pronounce Truebit Truby. They would pronounce TrueFi Truby. They would pronounce Truebit Truby. So when a Chinese person tells another Chinese person to buy Truebit, the green logo, they say buy Truby. And the person that's Chinese that was told to buy Truebit, Truby, goes to Binance or Coinbase and they buy Truby, and it ends up being TrueFi. Absolutely genius level, evil genius level nefarious. So at this point, maybe we should at least touch on what Truebit actually does. Okay, Truebit calls itself a computational platform. Now, to most people, that means nothing. To most people, those two words, computational platform, doesn't immediately say, holy shit, that's a 1,000 times ROI investment. I've been waiting to invest in a computational platform. Is not something you say. So that's why I went and touched on and showed you everything else about all the backers and the PayPal mob and original Coinbase money and PayPal money and what happened to all 5 of the original inventors of Ethereum, how 2 of them went off and one built Theta and the other one built Polkadot, and they both did 200x and 500x. I showed you all those things because just telling you that Truebit is a computational platform isn't going to convince you that this thing is going to do 1,000 times ROI if you're an early investor like right now. But since we're talking about what it does, let's dive into it. A computational platform, what a computational platform does is computing. Really, really simple. It just does computing. Okay, so why is that so valuable? Let's back up and show you why that's so valuable. When Bitcoin first came out, everyone said Bitcoin, electronic coin that's transferable through the internet. Why is that valuable? Nobody knew why that was valuable. Now we do, because Bitcoin was able to overcome your national bank. It was able to overcome your central bank. It was able to overcome your banks and all your capital controls. You know how you can't carry $10,000 more than $10,000 on a flight? No more. Bitcoin actually solved all the problems that banks created. So Bitcoin disrupted banks. That's why Bitcoin became worth 300,000 times. The funny thing about Bitcoin, 300,000 times, that's 30 million % from the beginning. 30 million % is how much Bitcoin went up because it disrupted banks. Okay, what about Ethereum? Ethereum did 30,000 times. What did it do? In the beginning, when you were told Ethereum does smart contracts, that also doesn't say, holy shit, that's a no-brainer. I've been looking to invest in smart contract blockchain protocol. No one said that 5 years ago. Nobody. But now it's a no-brainer. What Ethereum does is creates a middleman-free, a no middleman contract system where money is delivered if these contractual conditions are fulfilled. Basically what Ethereum did was disrupted the entire legal industry. So Bitcoin disrupts banks. Gone. Ethereum disrupts the legal industry. No more contracts with no more expensive $500 an hour lawyers with neckties. Gone. All you have to do is code it in the Ethereum protocol and bam, you get the money if all these conditions are filled, and if these conditions aren't filled, I get my refund. That's why Ethereum became so valuable. Finally, let's get to Truebit. Truebit, created by the same guys that actually created Ethereum, who are already multi-billionaires because they invented Ethereum. You don't think Jason Tuich and Christian Riefeisner and Gavin Wood and Charles Hoskinson are multi-billionaires? They are. What does Truebit do? Truebit does computation. What is computation? What is the biggest thing that's happening right now? What is the most disruptive reason that you're not getting hired? The reason why you can't get a job anywhere? Well, two. Robots and artificial intelligence. Most things that humans can do, with their puny logic, most things that humans can do are done better with artificial intelligence algorithms. Artificial intelligence is better at picking the difference between an apple with a wormhole in it and an apple without. Artificial intelligence is better at sorting through in real time as oranges come down a conveyor belt, sorting through sweet oranges and unsweet oranges. Artificial intelligence is better at finding case law history and exceptions and anything in the legal industry. Artificial intelligence is better at finding tumors and potential genetic variations that could lead to tumors than a professor, a medical doctor from Switzerland that has 40 years experience doing microsurgery. Artificial intelligence is kicking everybody's ass, which is why you can't get hired. But artificial intelligence requires a centralized server. And it's all either goes through Amazon or some Chinese server. And it can be stopped like that. If the government or the sheriff or if some district attorney says, hey, we're going to stop this server from delivering these results and we're going to hold this money, artificial intelligence has the biggest Achilles heel to the current legal establishment. The blockchain solves that. But the blockchain doesn't have an artificial intelligence platform yet. Actually, they do now, and it's called Truebit. Are you starting to see why? Are you starting to get Skynet vibes from this? Truebit. Distributed, unstoppable, uncensorable, ungovernable platform for artificial intelligence. That's what Truebit is. I also promised you a stock. Coincidentally, the stock is directly made by Peter Thiel. Click subscribe. I'm going to tell you the next episode. This video is going on way too long. This year, let's get rich.